Hello everyone, this is Nimish and today we're going to review the movie Rock On 2 starring Farhan Akhtar, Arjun Rampal, Purab Kohli and Shraddha Kapoor. This movie is an actual sequel. By that I mean it is not just a franchise movie like Raz 123, Golmaal 123, which has no relation with each other and are just franchises made out there to attract audiences and make money. This is a real sequel which takes the story forward, which takes the characters forward in their lives and is like the next chapter in their lives. In the first one, of course, they got together, they made a band, they got very successful. This is what happens after that. So this is basically the story about Farhan Akhtar, who's the central character in this movie, about how he faced a certain incident in his successful rock career as a musician and how that incident changed him completely, and he left everything behind and went to Meghalaya and settled there in order to help the people there, help the villagers and do some lot of social work. Now why he does this, what happens next, how his relationships and friendships are affected, how his family is affected, how the situation is in Meghalaya, all this forms the rest of the story. I want to begin by saying that this movie is a perfect balance between parallel cinema or art house cinema and commercial cinema, because this is not just the fun, exciting, young, energetic, rock on kind of movie that we watched in the first part. This is not that commercial kind of movie. It focuses on real issues, social issues, while blending it in with the stories of the characters and the lives of the characters. And not just the story, but also technically, on the technical front, this film is outstandingly brilliant and crafty when it comes to cinematography, direction, storytelling, location, framing. Outstanding work on terms of technicals. So this movie feels very well crafted, very well made with a lot of heart and soul, and you can see that in each and every department. Now, Rock On 2, the buzz around this movie got down a lot because people did not like the music, and I completely agree that the music, when you heard it, is definitely not up to the mark. It is not what we expected. Only a couple of songs are good and appealing to the ears, but when you watch this movie, some of the songs get better because it suits the movie so much. When you watch it, it suits the situation, the scenario, everything is explained, every song has a reason to be there in the movie, and I think that's why it's important to judge music movies after you watch them more often than not, because a lot of it is explained in the movie. So I wouldn't say the music is extraordinarily brilliant and you'll start liking the music once you watch the movie, but definitely in the movie it makes a lot of sense when it does come, whenever it does. Overall, I'd say the music of this movie is average. On the acting front, Farhan Akhtar is in the lead character along with Shraddha Kapoor. Both of them have done a fantastic job. They're absolutely natural. This is probably Shraddha Kapoor's best performance because she's not glamorous, she's not playing the typical girly role. She's playing a very different character and she plays it extremely naturally and she gives it her fullest. This is a definite career best. Farhan Akhtar has come a long way since his first movie, and his projection and his progression as a character is absolutely fantastic. He played the part very well, especially in the emotional scenes where he's very restrained, he chokes up when he speaks. He always does that very well and he continues to do so. Arjun Rampal and Purab Kohli also give very strong support, and everyone in the cast, including Kumud Mishra, you haven't seen them perform in such a restrained, composed, calm manner with a lot of soul, and this movie, they do that. A lot of times when I was watching the movie, it felt like they connected to the story in some way. They connected to it so strongly, either because it's probably based on certain true incidents, maybe, or maybe the director narrated it in such a well written manner that they connected and they could perform it so well. So all the credit goes to the actors and the director for bringing out such beautiful performances and making such a movie which is a very well balanced between commercial cinema and kind of art house or cinemas with a message. The message in this movie is of course got to do with social issues which apply to whole of India but are set in Meghalaya, and how music can make a difference in many different ways. Now what is missing in this movie is two things. One is the pace, because it balances between commercial and kind of art house, as I'm continuously saying in this review. The pace is little slowed down, it's toned down, the feeling and the energy of the movie is toned down, and so it lacks an appeal. It fails to reach out in the way it could have reached out, because that way it probably would have been too commercial for the director. But because he's trying to maintain a balance between the two kinds of cinema, it felt like it just got lost between the two. And so the appeal, the energy that could have been there, that should have been there, we just see glimpses of it now and then when there's a song or something like that, but then it just goes away in the other scenes. So overall, it lacks the speed, it lacks the pace that could have made this a very, very good movie. Secondly, a lot of subplots and sub characters are involved, which sometimes feels unnecessary. Maybe they could have made the overly complex set of emotions which they've depicted in this movie a little simpler, because there is a lot of emotions at its heart. So by adding more subplots, more characters, more emotions, more angles, it becomes a little too much for the audience to digest, saying that how can everything go wrong at the time, and at least something should be normal and there should be a balance. So at times you feel that there's a little too much over emotional thing happening in the movie, which is probably what takes away from this movie. I generally don't speak about box office, but I can say that this movie will never ever make a big impact at the box office. And for all those people who watch it, including myself, although I like the movie, it doesn't leave a mark. It's not something that you remember forever. It's definitely not something you're going to watch over and over again. So this is a one-time watch. You can watch it if you were thinking and if you're not sure about this movie, because the buzz is different, it people are confused, there's a currency issue going on in India, so everyone has their own issues going on right now. But if you ever wanted to watch this movie, or if you want to watch a good piece of cinema this year which will make you creatively satisfied and give you a satisfaction that Hindi movies might still have hope of making some decent movies, then definitely go for Rock On 2. It is worth a watch, it is worth your while, and I completely appreciate the efforts taken to maintain a very good balance so that this movie is not overly commercial like Rock On, or how we would expect Rock On sequel to be, while at the same time not being so dulled down that you feel like walking out of the movie. So I think this movie deserves a 3 stars. I hope you like this review. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep watching.